guys, what's up? It's your girl Donna. I know this is not my usual kind of video. Normally I do covers and I play my ukulele, so you can check those out. But today I wanted to do a B-side review. So for those of you who do not know, a B-side is basically the songs on the album that are not the title track and are not the promotional single. I often think B-sides are much more reflective of an artist's direction. They are definitely more reminiscent of what the artist wants to portray themselves to be, and singles are usually made for the mass audience, which is why they can be a little bit different sometimes. So the reason I'm doing this is because in April, I think a lot of good songs were released, and I think there are a lot of good B-sides that I can recommend to people to listen to, because I don't think that they have enough credit and I think they deserve more credit. So this is going to be both K-pop and otherwise, but we're going to start with K-pop, so let's do that now. So the first group I'm going to be talking about is Stray Kids. Stray Kids actually had their debut right at the end of March, but the reason I'm talking about them now is because I just finished watching Stray Kids' survival show and now I feel like I need to speak about them. Stray Kids are very different from JYP artists in the sense that they're very self-aware, they're very critical of society, and that definitely gets reflected through their lyrics. They have a very, very dark sort of vibe to them, very sort of in keeping with like their student sort of age group that they are. You know, they talk about issues to do with schooling, they talk about issues to do with society. So they came out and they debuted with their song District 9. I recognize that a lot of people some people will like it, some people will probably think it sounds very dark and they don't really understand what Stray Kids are about, which is why I wanted to just review them. And I think one song on their album that is really, really good and very sort of explains to you who Stray Kids are is this song. It's called Nut. It's actually the introduction to the entire album. I think it's very, it's good in the sense that it sort of very much shows you what Stray Kids are about, the kind of vibe that they're going for, the sort of message that they're talking about, and also it's in English. A lot of it's in English, so good for us international fans. But on the actual album itself, I know the boys themselves are very proud of the song Mirror. They have the whole mirror and mirror sort of thing going on, which is like maze in Korean and mirror, and so it's a song very much about self-reflection and who you see, stuff like that. But the one song that I would recommend is actually technically a promotional single, but it's Grow Up. I think if you're not into dark sort of music, this song is much better for you. I like it the most as well because I'm not really into dark music that much, Stray Kids being the exception. I really like this song. I think any student can basically relate to this song. Structurally, it's very different from what Stray Kids normally do as well. It's not actually that dark at all. It's got a very much lighter vibe to it. You know, the rap line is much slower in this one, and there's more of a vocal sort of focus in it, which is usually the other way around in their other songs. So I really, really like that song. But now we're going to move on to actual songs that came out in the month of April. So we're going to start with what I think is one of the best albums that happened this month. You already know it. I'm gonna play it. It is Pentagon. They came back with Shine. Shine, I really, really like the song Shine, and the reason I really like the song Shine is because it doesn't do what most pop songs are doing at the moment, which is where they have the verse, they have the bridge, they have the chorus, and it builds up and builds up and builds up, and then you have this sort of drop, and that's both in Western and in K-pop music. What Shine does is very reminiscent of what Love Scenario does by iKON, which by the way is now returned as one of my favorite albums now, because that whole album has this sort of chill pop vibe to it, and Shine does that very well. So what it does is it goes verse, chorus, bridge, and then instead of having a drop, what it does is it actually strips away instruments in this part here. In that part there, the only parts you really hear are the sort of piano-y vibe thing they have going on and the beat that becomes a lot louder, and I personally really like that. I think when they strip away sort of like their instruments, it gives it so much more of a summer, it gives it a very youthful vibe, and I really, really like that vibe. So there are 3 songs on the album. They brought out an album called Pentagon. It's actually a mini album or an EP, and there are 3 songs that I would recommend for you to listen to. The first one is Off-Road. I think Off-Road really gives the vibe that Pentagon were really going for in this album. It's very summery, very spring summer vibe. It is just a really, really good song, so I'm going to play a bit now. This song does do the whole build up, build up, build up, and then has the drop at the end. So structurally, it's less complex, I'd say, than Shine is, but I think it's got a really nice sound. It kind of gets really fast, and then it goes really slow in the chorus, and I think that's really nice structurally. I would play more of it, but I'm gonna review so many songs, so I don't have time. So the next one I would definitely recommend to you is Do It For Fun by the Rap Unit. So if you like Baseline by J-Hope, you will love Do It For Fun by the Rap Unit. It's such a fun song, and if you're not going to listen to it for any other reason, just listen to it because it is a fun song. It's a song that you can definitely get down to. It's very stripped back. All there really is your like percussion instruments. So all there really is a bass line and a drum beat, and that really carries the song forward. I feel like when instruments like that are kind of brought to the forefront, the entire song definitely moves a lot more. I will talk about that a little bit more later in another song I'm reviewing, but it literally just strips right back down in the chorus. It's a really good song, so it's gonna happen now. See what I mean? It's a very cool song. And then the last song I would recommend by Pentagon is Let's Go Together. Let's Go Together is a very happy song. It's very major scale on the piano. It kind of reminiscent of Jess Glynne's These Days. If you listen to Western pop, you know what I'm talking about. It's just a really happy song, you know, King Jenna alright, so it's like, it's okay, it's alright. It's just a really, really nice song. I like it a lot, so that's something I would definitely recommend to you guys. So, the next album I'm going to be reviewing, or the next group I'm going to be reviewing is Winner. So, Winner came out with a full-length album, and the title track was Everyday. And I will admit, when I first heard Everyday, I wasn't the biggest fan, and it's a really good song now, and it's completely grown on me, but I was a bit disappointed because I really liked the previous comeback that Winner had, but then I listened to the album. I have this thing, it's called the Holy Trinity for me. So there's 3 K-pop albums that are like my 3 favorite albums, and that's Day 6 Sunrise, Day 6 Moonrise, and JJ Products Verse 2. I love those 3 albums so much. And then there's like a second tier which are very close to the top, and one of the albums on there is Return by iKON, because that album is just amazing. And I'm not gonna lie, Winner's Everyday is now on that second tier as well. It is an amazing album. I think every single song on the album is better than the title track, and that's saying something because the title track is really freaking good. But the whole album is an absolute masterpiece. So if you're into more trap kind of style music, the first half of the album is for you. The one song I would definitely recommend that's more like sort of trap style is Air. It's definitely got an airy feel to it, the way the vocals are, the way everything is kind of put together. I would definitely recommend Air as a song if you're more into like sort of pop style. I really like Air. I'm just going to skip it for a bit. You kind of get the vibe of it. It's very vocal, less rap, more just, as it sounds. It's a really, really nice song, very summery song. But there were 3 songs on the album that really caught my attention, so I'm going to move on to those now. The first one is Movie Star. I'm going to pause it because I need to talk about Movie Star in a lot of depth. Movie Star is probably one of my favorite K-pop songs now. It's such a good song, and it's one of those songs where you may not know what they're talking about initially, but you can get the vibe of what they're talking about. And I kind of got that song and I was like, wow, this song sounds really amazing. I wonder what it's about. I went and I looked at the lyrics and it was just amazing. It's just such a good song. You know, it's all about living life, but living it in a way that's authentic and true to yourself, not living it in a way where you want, you know, like it's all like, you know, edited. I think it's somewhat a truth as well to like our social media habits in this day and age. I really love this song. I think it's really good. It's got a lot more focus on the rap line. There are very long verses which have a lot of rap in them, but it's more like spoken rap. It's very slow. Look up the lyrics if you like that. And then the whole song is kind of almost ballady, so like it's got this movement to it in terms of lyrics, but in terms of music it's very much just chords and drums, and that's it. So I'm gonna play a bit more. I really love this song. I think this song is just like what caught my attention to the entire album. This is what I mean by the rap line. Can you hear this? I hope you can hear this. Okay, so I'm gonna move on. The second song that really caught my attention is We Were. So I love this song. This is actually, okay, I'm gonna pause it again. This is actually my favorite song on the entire album now. So Movie Star was what caught my attention, but We Were is what made me stay, basically. I adore this song. This song to me is very similar to Man in a Movie by Day 6. If you've ever heard that song, basically the way Man in a Movie works is it's like it's telling you a story, and the way the bass line is within that song, it kind of goes in like this. So you're kind of getting told something and you're kind of getting dragged along and dragged along and dragged along. And that is exactly what We Were does. So I knew before I even looked at the lyrics that this song is a story of of some kind. They're trying to tell you something. And when you look up the lyrics, it's actually a story about how he's talking about, he's reminiscing about a love he had before, and he's trying to say like, look, I'm just reminiscing, do you remember we did this, we were beautiful, blah blah blah. It's a really gorgeously written song. And again, it's because the percussion instruments take more of a stand within this song. You have the bass and you have the drums, and they're actually very loud when you listen in headphones, and that is what allows the song to move forward so much. And what they have here, which I think is quite nice, is they have a sort of effect on his voice at the beginning, which makes it sound like he's having a phone call with her, and he's like, look, this is what happened, I'm just talking. I really like that. Vocals. The vocals in this song are so strong, they're so nice, oh my god. Yeah. Okay, I love that song so much, so I'm gonna go on about it for ages. So the third song I would recommend on the album is Raining. So you can probably tell my preference of songs by the three I recommended. They're all sort of chill pop songs, but I really like Raining. It's on my rainy day playlist, which I posted recently, so I'll link that down below. It is the perfect song, but when it's raining, just listen to the song. It's very acoustic based. You can hear acoustic guitar in it and piano in it. It's a really nice song. I really like it. I'm just gonna skip it forward so you can hear the chorus a bit. I love his voice so much. That's good. I love that part. So we're now moving on to our next artist, which is The Rose. So for me, my favorite song by The Rose is Like We Used To. I love that song, and it's very like Britpop. It reminds me of like The Script or like One Republic. I really didn't think that anything that they were going to release was going to beat that, but I was wrong. So they came out with Baby, which I know is a song that they had played previously in their concerts, but I purposefully chose not to listen to the concert videos until the song came out, got released, because I didn't want to ruin it for myself. But this is definitely the kind of song you want to be listening to in a concert. So this is where I said I was going to talk about the percussion. So the way the song is structured is really, really interesting to me. So when it starts, it's very much just piano and vocals. So it starts off in a very sort of slow, sort of, you think it's going to be a ballad, like listening to his dreamy vocals, and then you get this drop of the bass. Okay, you probably can't hear that. It sounds amazing when you listen to it in headphones, but anyone who knows me knows I love bass heavy songs where the bass is like the feature of the song, because the bass is my favorite instrument. So structurally the song is actually really, really interesting. So what it does is it starts off with the bass and it starts off with the drums, and that is your percussion, and your percussion actually takes the forefront throughout the entire song. Even when it hits the chorus, the guitar is actually quite muted in comparison to the bass and the drums, and that really pushes the song forward, and it pushes the song forward, and you almost feel like every time you go through like the verse, the bridge, the chorus, something is missing. And then finally at the end, after they've done the mid-late, the song completely opens up. You hear a lot more keys, you hear a lot more synths, and you hear a lot more of the electric guitar, and it all comes together in one, and all of a sudden you feel like, oh, that was what I was missing. But the only annoying thing about having a song like that is that it feels so short, because you're constantly like, oh my god, okay, it's coming, and then it finally comes, and then it ends, and you're like, oh my god, that was amazing. So if you haven't listened to The Rose, I know they're not that popular, I really, really suggest you do. They are amazing. Baby is a really good song. I imagine it sounds amazing live, because every song sounds better live because the bass is louder, and if the bass is already loud in the recording, the bass must sound amazing live. So I really recommend this song. One thing I find interesting about The Rose as well is that they sing a lot in English. I know the lead singer Sammy, I think his name is, I know he speaks English, but they speak a lot of English in their songs. So if I was going to recommend to you a B-side, you already know what B-side is going to be. It's going to be Candy, or it's also known as So Good. So I love the 1975, and this song is definitely inspired by the 1975. It's definitely got that sort of dreamy electric guitar feel to it, keyboards. Really, really, really nice song. In fact, I took a Snapchat of it showing that song in all its glory. So I'm gonna link it now because I want you to see and understand how amazing that song sounds, especially in the summer. So linking now. Come on, baby, you taste so good. Just like candy on my lips, so good. If you want me, I can take it slow. So as you can see, that song is amazing. It's not the kind of song you listen to quietly. You gotta blast that out in your earphones for it to sound amazing. Okay, so what I'm gonna be moving on to now is a honorable mentions section because I don't have time or storage to review everything that's come out this month, but these are some honorable mentions, basically songs that I absolutely adore but I haven't had the chance or to check out their B-sides, or they didn't come with B-sides, they were just released as singles and I just want to talk about them a little bit. So the first one is my boy Jackson Wang. He came out with Dawn of Us. I love this song. I think it's a really good song, but I think it's more of a visual song rather than a song that you listen to. It's very chill, it's got a very chill sort of summer vibe, but if you haven't watched it already, watch the music video. I feel like the song is not complete without the music video. I mean, for me, my favorite song that Jackson's done so far is Mood, which he did with Wang. I don't want to say that wrong, but he did it with another Chinese artist, and I think that song is really, really good, and I think Mood is definitely more his style, so I wish he would do more songs like that. But I mean, Dawn of You is pretty good as well. I really like Dawn of You a lot. The next song that gets an honorable mention is Twice. What is Love? I love this song. This song is amazing and all the movie references in the music video are so cute. Actually, one thing that this song does structurally that I find very interesting is that for Twice's songs, they usually go verse, bridge, chorus, breakdown for the middle eight, where they just strip back all the music and they just have someone doing vocals, and then chorus again. But what this song does that's kind of different to that is it goes verse, bridge, chorus, then it goes to rap line, where the beat doesn't drop and there's no like stripping back of instruments. Actually, the beat just continues as it is, and then the rappers come in, and I actually think it gives it a really, really, really nice vibe. It gives it much more like a flow, a continuity in the song. I like it a lot. I think the rap line gets to shine a lot more in the song, which I really like. And then it strips back the instrumentals for the official middle eight, and I think that's really cool. So instead of doing what you expect them to do, they actually delay the process by about 30 seconds, and it leaves you thinking, oh, that was cool, and then they do it, and then you're like, right, this is a Twice song. So I think that was actually a really, really smart way of doing the song to make it sound structurally different to some of their other songs, which I really, really liked. The next honorable mention is Lo Siento by Super Junior. Oh, man. I absolutely adore this song, and one thing about Lo Siento is when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, it means sorry in Spanish, because I studied Spanish in my school for 6 years. And so the funny thing about the song is that I understand the Spanish and I don't understand the Korean. So that was cool to see them doing that. And one thing I really, really like is the fact that Super Junior, they didn't just sing in Korean, they actually tried and attempted to sing it in Spanish as well. And it was really nice. It gave it a really, really nice summery vibe. I absolutely adore this song, and I want to do a cover of it, but that's 3 languages in one song, and that's gonna kill me. But it's a really, 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 really good song. So that is the end of our special mentions section. So now I'm just going to move on to the last K-pop artist that I want to review, which is Eric Nam. So Eric Nam is someone who I've never really looked into his music before, and I don't know why. For some reason I thought he was a ballad singer, which is why I never bothered to check it out. But he's not. His songs are so good, especially for summer. Like, I think I might make a summer playlist, and his songs will heavily feature on that because he has got some summer bops. So the official title track of the EP that he released, which is called Honestly, is the song Honestly, which is really good. But he released a song called Potion as a promotional single, and I absolutely adore this song. I think it's so cool. It sounds like something of AOMG, which is J Park's label. Just the vibe of it. It's just It's a really good song. So that's one B-side I would recommend to you, but it's kind of a promotional single. But the second B-side I would recommend to you guys is Don't Call Me. So the one thing about Eric Nam, which is awesome, which I'm sure you all know, is that he is of course American, and so he releases some of his songs in English. So 2 of the songs out of 5 are in English, and Don't Call Me is one of those. But Don't Call Me is definitely my summer bop. I'm just gonna skip forward to the beat because that's just like, when the beat drops, you're gonna just understand why I love this song so much. Listen to this. Don't call me. I just think that's awesome. That's such a cool beat. I really love that. That was so cool. So that was a lot of K-pop that I just spoke about. So there are only 2 artists really that I want to speak about in the non-K-pop world who released stuff in April. One of them is 5 Seconds of Summer. So in case you didn't know, I used to be a proper 5-star stan back in the day when like Sounds Good Feel Good came out, and then okay, sorry about that, my phone ran out of storage. I said it would, but what I was talking about was Youngblood by 5 Seconds of Summer. I was just going to talk about the direction in which they're taking with their music. I think it's really interesting. They're very much doing the indie thing now, which I really like because indie is my preferred genre of music. One thing I like about the song is that the way the chorus builds up. It's very slow in the verses, and then it just, the beat, like the drum is really loud in the chorus. How do you like when I'm just tonight? It's really nicely done. The only thing I would say is, Luke, why are you doing all the vocals? Where's my Callum? No, I'm joking. Obviously I understand that that is something they have chosen to do as a band. And finally, the last person I want to review on this is my girl Sigrid. I think she's amazing. She released the song High Five from her EP that she's releasing at the moment called Raw. She's releasing every song individually. High Five is an amazing song. It's very much Sigrid style, you know. It's very piano based. It kind of starts off sort of slow, and then the chorus drops and the beat just drops, and it just, the whole thing builds upon this amazing piano. It's an amazing song. Sigrid is just that artist that has so much vocal control on her. It's just amazing. You listen to her sing and you just think, how do you do this? You know, she goes so high and her upper register is gorgeous. She has this like little rasp when she does that, and I just love this song so much. So I'm gonna finish this video here just listening and jamming out to Sigrid. Thank you all for watching. If anyone is watching, I hope my B-side review was useful to you, and hopefully you found some new songs that you would like to listen to, or some new artists that you want me to review. Comment down below.